Alright, so I'm vlogging today. It's like 5:45. I'm not going to be able to edit, render, and upload the video before the night ends. So this is about my science class from freshman year. It was by far like one of my favorite periods all through freshman year. To lay it out, going into freshman year, I never really talked to this one kid, Chucky. So going into freshman year, I had like 6 classes with Chucky. 6 of my 8 classes were with this kid, Chucky. So going into this was environmental, or not environmental, I think it was just earth science. Yeah, earth science, right? It was a huge classroom. It was essentially, it was like the workshop for like the car shop or whatever before they turned it into a science room. So my teacher, Mr. Rogers, he was really chill, never had an issue. He never really he's a quiet teacher. He talked, did things at the board, and let us kind of do our own thing and work at our own pace. If we didn't do our work, whatever, it's our issue. And if we did do our work, good job for us. Chucky and I sat in the back 2 tables. I sat in the second to the last, and he sat at the last to the back. So every person had like their own, it was like 2-seater desks. So we sat in the very back of the class. So obviously if we sit in the very back of the class, we're going to be having some fun. To the right of Chucky was my friend Quentin. Quentin was like one of these like army kids, paintball, fucking hunting kind of kids, but he was also like really chill. He was a wrestler and shit, so he's kind of like jockey plus like redneck at the same time. He was a weird breed of a kid, but he was a cool kid at the same time. So I was always looking forward to going to this class, and we did a lot of stupid shit. Now in like the very front corner, the loud kids, they were just always really loud, and they were always doing stuff, and Mr. Rogers would just like stare at them like the whole time whenever they would do anything wrong. So whenever Chucky and I, or like Chucky, Quentin, and I would do something, we never once got yelled at. It was like maybe 1 or 2 times probably. So we pretty much did whatever we want, never got in trouble going into this class. And I actually had good grades all through this class. It was easy stuff. It was earth science, so it was easy shit anyway. Chucky and I, this is when we're starting to like really become like good friends. Like I said, we're sitting next to each other. We're always walking home, riding around bikes and shit. We had snowball fights walking home from school. We're going into this class. And like I said, going in the third quarter, we're like really good friends. We had a lot of shit that we've done with each other. So we obviously had, like I said, more of a friendship. So going into the very first period of the day, Mr. Rogers was always really pissy first period. So obviously I couldn't be like an asshole or like piss him off. So I had to be like really chill, respectful. And like I said, it was not the first period, so I was always tired anyway. Going into first period, this is the first time like I've ever gotten into like somewhat trouble. It wasn't even trouble, but it was just like stupid shit, right? So there's those kids that are sitting in the front, like the front right corner, and one of the kids' name was Torin. Now Torin always has these fucking bootleg ass like Dollar Tree headphones, and they tried getting me to put them on, and then I was like, no, I'm not gonna wear them. So one day they're all making fun of Torin for these headphones, and I was like quiet. The only time I really talked, I was talking to Chucky and Quentin. I never really talked to like any of the other kids, because if you guys saw my other videos from like fucking freshman year, I was socially awkward, I was quiet, I had a like really fucking bitchy voice, so I was really self-conscious, so I never really talked all through like the beginning of freshman year. And really my balls didn't start fucking dropping until like July of this year, so like fucking 6 months ago. It's February now, I don't even know math. They were trying to get me to put on these headphones, and they were like, will you wear these? I was like, fuck no, baby, like you know, like the Vine or whatever. And Mr. Rogers for some reason got so fucking pissed off of me. Like he started yelling at me, sent me out of the hallway, some fucking Mr. Thompson shit, if you guys remember that, shout out to you guys. But like he just started screaming at me for no reason. So I went out in the hallway, he's talking to me, and then he gave me detention for screaming fuck no. Like, he really gave me detention, right? So, I never went to that detention. I went in there, and Mr. Rogers wasn't there, so I was like, alright, bet. I just kind of sat there for like 5 minutes. He was in a meeting, so then I just kind of dipped out. Didn't really actually have to do anything. I just sat there on my phone. That was like the first detention I ever got in freshman year, and I thought I was like, I thought I was fucked for getting a detention. I really did. I was scared. So, for some reason, I was like really quiet in this class. And like I was trying my absolute hardest not to get on Mr. Rogers' nerves, trying not to get detention anymore, because I didn't want to fuck up my future, you know? Like I said, I was a weird, quiet, like kind of self-conscious kid back then. So then one day, like I said, it's first period in this class, so I'm sleeping in class. I did all my work waiting for Mr. Rogers and everyone else to finish up. So I'm taking a nap, I'm sleeping there, and then Chucky has the fucking audacity to run up, pull my chair out from under me. Alright, so I got up, I stood up, punched the shit out of him. I didn't hit him that hard, but it hurt him really bad. So, and he had braces too, so it jabbed into his braces and it started cutting up his lips. So then he's bleeding out of his mouth a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. So then he goes up to the front of the room, tries to get like a something to clean it up, whatever. Asks Mr. Rogers what he should do, and he was like, I don't know how, like, what happened. It was like, oh, John punched me. So Mr. Rogers comes over to me and he's like, oh, are you fighting Chucky? Oh, are you bullying Chucky? Whatever. So now I'm being sought as the bully, the asshole, the guy like fighting people when all I was doing was trying to sleep and Chucky pulled my fucking chair out from under me. Like, stupidest shit ever. So then I get another detention, but this time it was Saturday morning detention. So I went to Saturday morning detention, and then I went on a run right after school. Perfectly fine. Then later that Saturday, I met up with Chucky, and he was like, yo, how was Saturday morning detention? Like, fucking with me, trying to piss me off. And I got pissed off about it. So then, like, him and I just kind of had like an issue with him. I was just like pissed off for like probably a month at this kid. And we never like truly had conversations. Like, we never text outside of school or anything. And the only times that we really talk outside of school are when we're going riding or we're just talking about like stupid shit, like making fun of people because I'm an asshole. But anyway, right, so it's not like having actual conversations. So it wasn't like he didn't have the clue that I was actually mad at him, and he didn't really like know why. Like, he didn't have a reason for me or to think that I was mad at him. Coming into sophomore year, Chucky and I, we don't have any classes yet. We have no classes together. So we don't really see each other a lot, and in the hallways we don't see each other. But we're walking home the other day, and it just like the nostalgia that I got, like, and I was like, I really got to make a video talking about the shit that we did in Mr. Rogers' class. A lot of stuff I can't talk about because I don't want, say, the school to find out about this or whatever. Like, I'm already worried about the Mr. Thompson fucking thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. I'll give any more stories about like school stuff or like shit that I've done outside of school. I'm gonna start vlogging with those people, such as like Chucky and Jaden and shit. So you guys are gonna see them on the channel very soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's Burgers, and I'm out. Peace.